Hi everyone, welcome back to the video updates. It's Sade again. Today's video is going to discuss the differences between purchasing a single family home and purchasing a condo. And we got this question from potential buyers that are looking into the real estate market for the first time. And I think that you can definitely talk to realtors, real estate professionals about this question as well, but from a legal perspective, I'll go over what I think from my experience working with different property types. The main difference between the single family home and the condo, just from a general standpoint, is that the condo is attached and the single family home is considered a detached unit. And when we say attached, we mean that the condo is part of a community that shares parking lots and shares walkways and some other common areas like that. And then the other difference to keep in mind is that when you have a single family home, you, the homeowner, are going to be responsible for everything. So there are advantages and disadvantages to each type of property ownership. It just depends on your preference and your style, as well as what your personality type would be. And also sometimes it depends on what your budget, it depends on your budget depending on what you're looking for. So let me go over really quickly what the legal aspects would look like. When you're purchasing any kind of home, whether it's a condo, a single family residence, a duplex, or things like that, you'll have to quickly figure out whether the unit has restrictions, right? So when you're purchasing the condo, it's always going to have restrictions. When you're purchasing a duplex, a triplex, things like that, they all come with restrictions because they're considered attached or semi-attached. The single family homes, the real definition of that is it's a standalone. You don't share walls with any other property owners. So when you're looking, keep those in mind. Even if the description doesn't quite tell you when you saw the ad whether it's something that comes with restrictions, you know automatically that the condos, the duplexes, they come with restrictions. The single family units sometimes also come with restrictions, and the only way you'll know that is if there's a homeowners association involved and if that homeowners association is still active. So some of them start off with restrictions at the beginning of the development, and then later on the homeowners association might be dissolved. So ask all these questions up front before you get involved. The main questions that you need to ask yourself, of course, is what area of town do I want to be in? What kind of budget do I have? So you will already talk to lenders to see what they might be able to approve you for. But when it's a condo that you're purchasing, the requirements of the lenders are very different from when you're purchasing a single family home. They have maybe more requirements when you're purchasing a condo. And I think it's because the condo is a special kind of property. It comes with a lot more restrictions than even a single family home that has a homeowners association involved. Then the next thing that you need to look out for is to see how the homeowners association or the condo owners association is running this whole place. The association is responsible when it's a condo for managing the budget because they collect assessments every month or every quarter or every year. So sometimes they have 3 different types of assessments with a community. It could be the regular assessments that are assessed every month or every quarter. And then they might also have a yearly, what they call an annual assessment that they just charge once in that year. And then they might also have special assessments. And the special assessments, those ones are very tricky because they come up when the association believes that they need a quick influx of cash to make some big fixes or repairs or improvements. The special assessments are voted on. You, as part of the community, let's say you own a property there, a condo there, you will have a chance to attend the meeting and also vote. So when they have a quorum present, with members that showed up and members that show up by proxy, meaning that the members sent somebody in or send their vote in electronically, then they most of the time, if you have 2/3 of people that are saying yes to that assessment, then it would pass, meaning that they will charge that assessment. And it's a special assessment, so it could be $100 a month additional for a period of 1 year, or it could be $500 a month additional for a period of 1 year. So that's the thing that's scary about the condo ownership. That doesn't happen when you're a single family unit owner. But the single family unit also comes with a lot of repairs. So I'll compare the two when it comes to the responsibility for upkeep and repairs. With the condo, the association takes the money that has been collected for all the assessments and fixes things. Anything that's on the exterior would typically be fixed by the association. So let's say you needed a new roof and you own a condo, the association would fix it, but they do have to, of course, have the inspection done and approve that fix, and then they'll fix it with money that's already been collected from the whole community, right? Including yourself. And if you have a single family unit, you will have the homeowner's insurance, and then you would pay your deductible and fix the roof that way, right? Or repair the roof or replace the roof. And so with the condo also, anything to do with your exterior walls, like the siding, anything outside the house, they would fix that for you. So all of the walkways, and so anything with the exterior of the house with the condo association would fix for you, and they will do the upkeep of the cutting of the grass and the common areas, the parking lots, everything. If you own a single family home, then of course you're keeping up with the pest control yourself, you're having servicing done for the yard. If you're going to be cutting the grass yourself, you do it yourself, or you hire a company to do it, and everything just falls on you. Everything with utilities, everything. Now if you're a single family unit owner and you live in an area that has a homeowners association with those deed restrictions that I mentioned, then it's slightly different. But of course they don't pay for anything to do with your unit. They only pay to cut the grass in the areas that are used commonly, such as maybe the clubhouse or the swimming pool areas. So they have certain amenities that come with the homeowners associations as well. Some do and some don't. But the condos come with a lot more amenities because, of course, you do pay more in the long run as far as the assessments would go. Because you do pay more for the condo assessment than you would pay for typical homeowners association assessment. The other thing to keep in mind is that condos do not appreciate at the same rate as single family units, generally speaking. Even if they're in a desirable area like downtown, when you have condos that are worth $500,000, they still would not appreciate at the same rate as a house that's downtown that will be worth $500,000. However, they do appreciate over time. It just takes a little bit longer. So for instance, the average home value would go up if you've owned the home for about 3 to 5 years. With a condo, you might have to hold on to it for double that amount of time before you see significant equity building up. So significant appreciation in the value compared to how much you now owe on the property. Of course, if you paid it cash, it's the same thing. You will have to wait a few years to see the value go up enough to where you have equity that's considerable. So with the single family units, they appreciate quicker, and they also are easier to sell when you're ready to sell. And I think the reason is that you have a smaller pool of people looking for condos. The benefit though to shopping around for a condo could be that if you're shopping around for property and you don't want to spend a ton of money, you could sometimes find condos in a lower price range than you would find the single family units. But make sure you factor in the assessment and potential assessments into your monthly payments when you're thinking ahead, when you're crunching the numbers, because the condo assessments are going to be higher in the end. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that when you're purchasing the condo, talk to the people that you see. Let's say you're driving around, ask the property owners that you come across what they think about the management. You could also, if you're really, really interested and you're already making an offer, you make sure your contract, if you enter into a contract, is contingent upon that seller giving you all the documentation for the association. So you need the condo association's bylaws, you need the condo association's restrictions and regulations, and then you need the condo association's budget and their balance sheet. The reason you want to see all these documents is you want to see whether you'll be okay with all the restrictions that they have. What can you or can you not do with your property once you move into that place. You also need to check to see how they're doing financially. Does their balance sheet show that they're incurring some losses? Do they have a ton of accounts receivable? Because account receivable means that a lot of the owners there are not paying their assessments and dues. So you want to know why, and maybe it's because the management is not being run properly. Maybe they're incompetent. And if they have a ton of special assessments showing up in their books, then maybe they didn't do repairs on time, and then the repairs became a huge deal in the future. So pay attention to those things. Make your contract contingent upon getting those documents on time within X number of days from the time that you sign the contract, and that it allows you to back out. So have an option period inside your contract as always that allows you to back out. Make sure that option period does not expire until after you've received the condo documents and had about 3 to 5 days to review them, because you do want to send them over to a lawyer to help you look through the fine print. So those are my suggestions. Whenever you are buying a home, it's always a little bit of a risk because you don't really know until you get into the process. Sometimes you have surprises, but these are some of the things you can do ahead of time to protect yourself and make sure that you don't lose your earnest money and you can back out. And also to make sure that you don't sign up and buy a home in a community where the management is hostile or the association is mismanaging the money or mismanaging the premises, right? So you want to be sure about that. The cool thing about owning the condo for some people is that they get to have a taste of homeownership without having full responsibility for all of the upkeep. So based on your personality, style, and your preference, you can tell really quickly if you're okay with being restricted in some ways in exchange for being able to have somebody else taking care of things for you. If you're somebody that doesn't mind shouldering all the responsibility, then a single family unit will be absolutely perfect for you. And you just have to look in the right areas and make sure you know the numbers. You know how much they're supposed to cost and how much you're willing to pay, really maximum, and factor in the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, as well as any other types of fees that you have to pay. Let's say it has an HOA, they need to tell you upfront how much that would be. And the same thing with the Condo Owners Association. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If you have specific questions about your situation, definitely let us know. The last thing that I wanted to mention, of course, is that if you're doing these deals and there's a homeowners association involved or condo owners association, the seller is supposed to give you all the documents that I mentioned, but you do ask for them sometimes because sometimes they don't give you on time, right? And also with the homeowners association, with the single family units that have deed restrictions, they need to also tell you what to expect for the monthly fees. But for the condo, they need to also give you a resale certificate at some point in the process that shows you in writing how much you'll be expected to pay every month, and how much the dues and the assessments are right now, and whether there's any back owed amount and whether there's any special assessment owed. So those are my tips for you, and hope this has been helpful. Let us know what you want us to talk about on the channel, and I'll try my best to cover those topics as well. Thank you as always for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And congratulations if you're looking to purchase around this time. I think it's never a bad time to purchase. Just make sure that you're getting a good deal from the get-go, because you always make your money at the front end. You always make your money at the front end of the deal. If you get the right price, then you have room to build up the equity and to even renovate if you need to do that. So thanks as always, and I'll talk to you next time.